Welcome back to the Odyssey. I am Mike Odyssey, and yes, as you can see on screen, I have discovered another patent that could really be related to the next gen system. Let's go ahead and talk about it. All right, guys, we are here back into this patent discovery journey that we have here on this channel. I can say we have basically already spoken about over 100 patents related to different things in the world of Nintendo, and this is the latest one discovered right now, issued to Nintendo on March 28th, which is yesterday, 2023. Okay, and this patent right here, I've opened a couple links here just to do some comparisons, because I know once you guys see this patent, some of you might think it's related to another device, but there is some detailed information here that basically points out that this patent in particular is related to a brand new product we might see in the upcoming future for Nintendo. Now, what is this brand new product that we are talking about, Mike? Well, it is a virtual camera based on rotation and display device. Okay, so right here we can read the title of it: Image Display System. So that's basically it, an image display system, non-transitory storage medium, having stored therein image display program, display control apparatus, and image display methods for controlling virtual camera based on rotation of a display device. So now you can see here from this title, I know it's very confusing, but this is a system. It does have a display program within it and display control apparatus, you know. And right here, let's go ahead and take a look at the first image, which tells us what it is. This is the abstract, an example of an image display system. So there you have it. It's an image display system, includes a goggle apparatus having a display section, a virtual camera. Okay, so not only does it have a goggle, but it also has a virtual camera, meaning a camera that could actually take advantage and look outside of the goggle that you are wearing. That way you don't bump into anything. And user interface are placed in a virtual space. So it's a goggle with it has a display section, and it also has a camera. So here we have basically the example of the camera, which examines the area that we are in. The UI area will be like between these two angles right here, and then we have B area and B area here. So let's go ahead and continue to look at the images right here. The first image you'll find is of the internal of the actual goggle area. Now you might say, "Oh, Mike, this looks like the one that was released, this one right here, the Labo, right?" But if you look at the Labo, this is the entire area of the Labo right here. It would be missing all this part here, and it would not be this right here. So we have a device that's basically more squared off, and it looks more like a computer rather than that thing right there. So let's go ahead and continue. All of this right here, these numbers right here, if you look at a patent, they will tell you what this part is. Okay, so if we go down below and we look for number 14, it'll tell you in words what these are. So let's go ahead and continue looking here. And the big difference here, of course, look, we have the screen right here for the actual VR. All right, and the big part here is the processor, CPU, GPU, display unit, DRAM, non-volatile memory, and internal sensor. Yes, this is a computer, guys. It has a CPU, it has a GPU, it has a display section, an actual screen, okay, and an internal sensor. You know, DRAM, of course, and CPU, GPU, all that stuff here. So this is basically where the brain of everything is controlled, including the display, all right, and the memory, and of course the sensor and everything. So there you have another proof that this is one object. Here is a person kind of looking through the object right here. If you notice, there is no other attachment here where a switch would go in. It is just one device, just like that. Hopefully this is not how you use it. Maybe this patent is for the actual technology rather than how the device will look itself. But hopefully your hands are free. You have your hands free, and this is basically describing the technology that will allow this device to function, right? The computer system. Here we have more on regards on the camera angles, where you are basically, this is the gameplay screen here, which will probably be projected right in front of you, just like that. And then we hear the axis angles and all that stuff. We continue here, more camera angles shown here, basically. And then, of course, the no rotating, the background of the virtual space. So, yes, this right here will be the screen itself right here. And then whatever it's displaying on the screen. We still have more background of the virtual space right here. And then we see rotation in yaw direction. Okay, again, backward, the background of the virtual space. And then we have more information on camera, on lighting, of movement. So yeah, this basically describes the technology itself of the So in my opinion, this patent is more geared towards describing the technology itself of this thing, of this goggle, right? And it tells you how it actually works, how the cameras work, how it, the background screen, all this information here regarding that device itself. So in my opinion, guys, this is something that is upcoming. This is Nintendo's kind of VR headset. What is in response to Sony's VR headset and other VR headsets around. So for the next gen console, I believe that VR will play a big step. There are other patents that we have discovered in which we have seen one person using the VR headset, other people using the screen, and then other people using their mobile devices to play a certain game. So right here you can see move UI to in front of the virtual camera. So this is basically more information regarding this device. It has a virtual camera itself, so I guess it could tell you where it is. Another thing that will confirm again, I'll go back here and let's see here is a diagram showing an example of the function configuration of the information processing apparatus as shown in figure 3. Remember how I told you that all these figures here have numbers, right? They have like little numbers here. And the information processing apparatus, number 2, includes a processor, an initial sensor, a DRAM, a non-volatile memory, what we looked at before. In addition to a display section, the processor that includes a CPU and a GPU, right? So it's a device, right? It's a device that uses power, a CPU, GPU, a mini computer system to generate the images and all that stuff. I don't know whether you're going to need your Switch in order to use the processing power on the actual Switch, and this will be like a display, a separate display. This could be a very possible thing, or if it will be its own device, it will be its own thing. So that is still yet to be in the air. But here we have it, guys. This is basically the entire patent for that. I will have the link to this patent down below in the description. Along with this right here, Nintendo has issued a lot of other patents regarding games. So let me go ahead and take a very, very quick look at some other patents that Nintendo just received. As you can see right here that these last two were issued in the last 2 days. Yesterday, 2 of them were issued. And of course, we have a whole bunch of other ones that were issued before that. This one right here has to do with some sort of game, right? If you guys recognize this screen, let me know what you guys think down below. This looks like a little river, a lot of little characters here. To see if you guys recognize something. If you guys recognize something, you can tell me in the comments. And right here we have another game. Looks like a game, right? The storage, medium, information, processing method. Looks like it's a game. I'm not sure that there's no title for the game here, but it looks like it's a game that has to do with your hands. You clap, applaud every time on operating a button. This could be from 1-2 switch, or 3-4 switch, or something, because it looks like you're using your hands and not using a device, right? So this could be from 1-2 switch or 3-4 or whatever that sequel is, right? Here we have the Nintendo Switch, so we know it's a Nintendo Switch game. Here we have another game, uses as is, use my design. You guys can tell me what you guys think in the comments this has to do with, because I have no clue. A controller, communication processor. We got a little figure there with a little table. I don't know what they're doing. Here we have, he's happy, has a paper in the hand. And here's more information on that. If this looks familiar to you, do let me know in the comments. Here we have another one here. And then that thing there with something. So let's go ahead and continue. Let's move on forward. And we can continue to see all the patents that Nintendo has actually given us. The same one before. So this is actually the same exact patent from before. Let's continue here and see what we get here. Another patent for the same game. Let's move forward. Let's go to this one right here. Let's move on. We're almost there. Come on, load. Loady. Okay, so here we have it. Another game. This is another game here. Game apparatus, master, game apparatus, client. And let's go on and look at the image to see if we have an idea of what it is. Okay, this is a 3DS. Oh, that's weird. March 28, 2023. And it's a new patent, by the way. It's a new patent. Okay, so right now it says, European Search Report APO dated May 22, 2013. But it is weird that we have a patent related to the Nintendo 3DS, but it is for March 28, 2023. Now, this is my explanation for this one, okay? It was filed on March 15th, 2021. My explanation for this one: a plurality of game apparatus function as a master, client, and an audience. The master and the client register each other to performing there between an authorization process. The authorization process is not performed between the master, blah, blah, blah. What is this? Okay, so let's continue. The parties: apparatus master, authentication, game apparatus, and game apparatus. Okay, so here we have what looks like a patent for a 3DS. So very weirdly, yes, it looks like we have a patent for a Nintendo 3DS. It looks like a 3DS. I mean, even the old version, because it has the smaller screen here. Now, here is what I believe this could be related to. This could very well be related to we have a cartridge right here for the 3DS. Could be related to Nintendo Online for some reason. I think it could be related to Nintendo Online. They are basically patenting the entire console all over again. We have this one right here, which looks like a Nintendo 3DS. It has I guess these are the cameras and the sensors, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this looks like it's a Nintendo 3DS patent, which is very weird. You guys can see the date here, March 28th, 2023, the new one. I don't understand why they're doing this when the 3DS shop is about to close, unless like I said, unless the 3DS technology will continue and we might see that as a virtual console on the next Nintendo Switch, along with the Wii U as well. So who knows? Only Nintendo does. But this is the last patent we have here to show you guys. And I'll leave it up to you guys to speculate down below. It's fun to think about what this could mean, right? This is not news. This is just me going over some patents that Nintendo was just granted, right? That means they apply for them. They have to keep them secret until they're granted. And once they're granted, they're made public for everybody to see. Some of them might turn out to be almost like leaks because it's things that are upcoming. And some of them turn out to be upgrades or updates on certain patents from the past. Okay, like when Nintendo releases another console, they always update the patent and they release a brand new patent for the Switch. So there you have it, guys. You let me know what you guys think down below in the comments about all these finds right here, including the VR one that to me has the most promise of being in the next gen Nintendo console. That is gonna do it for this episode of Odyssey News. Let me know down below what your thoughts are, and before I let you go, I have two important things I need to let you know. Number one, never give up. And number 2, journey on. Peace.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without what's been holding us back.